Reorganizing time. Hope this will look good, but this guy down. This Mauta will go here. Welcome in. Damn, 2 people already. Hasn't even been a minute yet, and 2 people already in. Welcome in. We are reorganizing the clock room. So this Waterbury is now down. These shelves are coming down to make way for the new thing coming in. So these shelves are gonna go right here. And I think this will look nice because it'll be like a nice little split section. But yeah, this area is coming down and making way for... Actually, I'm gonna put the Mauta granddaughter clock right here because a new member is going here. And it is confirmed that I am indeed getting it. So, gotta make room. Until, of course, I can find a good bookshelf. But, yeah. I also just noticed that Jesse, aka the Clock Master, just went live. Literally at the same time. So that's such a funny coincidence. Alright. Down comes the Girard. Forest Mill Girard. And hopefully that doesn't tip over. Next comes the Forest Mill with the Couch de Jetta. And now this air movement. And now these 2 things. Now this. Now these 2 shelves. You can see your face in the reflection, by the way. Which reflection? Wait, which reflection? And I picked this in here where... I know I moved my camera. Oh, was it? No. I'm confused. On the right clock, this? I don't know. Whatever. Anywho, now I'm gonna go get the drill to unscrew these shelves. Oh, and this clock here, this one? Yeah, that's not a big deal. That's not gonna show like a clear image. That doesn't fit. This one. Oh, that clearly didn't. Okay. That also isn't really holding. Alright. Looks like all those screws are actually a little bit loose. So it looks like I can just pull this out, really. Nope. Ah, there we are. Hey, hello, Luca. It's been a while since you've actually been in a stream of mine. And also, Luca, if in case you're wondering, I'm reorganizing. This is one of the shelves. These shelves are coming down because I'm going to move the Mauta right here because confirmed I am indeed getting what's going to now go here. That is if it'll fit. If it doesn't fit in that space, then it'll go over here. But right now I'm moving these shelves over here. So I think that'll look quite nice because it'll be around the Christmas lights from 1955. So yeah, it'll look good there. But yeah, welcome in, Luca. Yeah, I think it will. I'm getting it on Sunday, so which is not far from now. There. That bracket's now undone. Thing will probably fit. Yeah, I think it will. It doesn't seem like the largest clock ever, so I think it'll work just fine. Alright, that bracket's now disconnected. Now for the next shelf. Now for the next one. Never saw any. I would say it's probably the same height as the Mauta, which is confirmed to be a grandmother clock. It is, the dial is, excuse me, the dial is low, indicating it might be a granddaughter, but the way that the case keeps going so high, and given that Mauta just loves adding these steep arches at the top just to make it a bit taller, it just makes it a grandmother clock. Because I'm 6 foot tall, and it's almost as tall as I am, despite it looking short at the same time. It's short yet tall. Like, it looks short, but it's actually tall. It's a very bizarre design. Yeah, it's a grandmother. It's a grandma. Jesus, this screw just really does not want to disconnect out of here. Oh, guess it'll live. Alright, next shelf is down. Okay. Oh, the youngins? Oh, well, I just spoiled it. I just spoiled it for my... I just spoiled it, damn it. On accident. So the grandmother clock that I'm getting on Sunday is 108. Wait, so it's a little over. Wait, so it's a grandfather? Oh. Did I I probably was blind and didn't look at the catalog properly. So it's gonna be a little taller than. So it's a grandfather then? A short one, I'll be that? I don't know. Message retract. Oh. Did the YouTube filter get him? Or was that deleted? I don't know. Oh no, that's the delete one. Oh, right, fair enough. Yeah, even the Mauta is still confusing me, because even though I know it's now a grandmother, the way that the dial is so low just makes it so confusing. But, oh well. There goes the shelf. This little thing. I'm gonna be an uncle? Wait. Wait, like, someone's having a child or something? Alright. Have a good night, Luca. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be sure maybe next time I do a stream I'll be sure to do a little later. Or no, not later. I'll be sure to do it a little bit earlier in the day if you wanted to join or something. But see you later, Luca. Have a good night. And welcome in, Jacob. Don't mind me, I'm just reorganizing my room for the newcomer of this collection. Final shelf is down. That is dusty. Holy moly. Who knew having a clock collection could make the room so dusty? I mean, to be fair, old stuff attracts dust. Alright. Looks so weird without the shelves there now. It looks so bizarre. Alright. Now to move the granddaughter clock over there, which is definitely going to be a little bit nerve-wracking because it's tall, it's narrow, and yet it's not heavy, but at the same time it kind of is. So this, I don't like. I can understand why people don't like moving long case clocks, because, well, they're big clunkers. Oh my gosh, will you cooperate? No, my gosh. Oh my gosh. I need to be very careful because, again, I'm moving almost a 6-foot tall clock. There's my guitar. space. I'm going to plug my TV in because, oh, that's the VCR, isn't it? Which one is it? Oh, no, that's the VCR. Television is this one. No, that is the, never mind, that's the Panasonic RS296 US. Alright, now to move this grandmother clock over here. Definitely is not going to worry me because it's a little bit heavy. I think I haven't moved it much in a while. Oh no, actually, oh yeah, right, I forgot this grandmother clock, the Mauta, wasn't as heavy as I expected because I carried it downstairs with absolute ease. That didn't sound nice. I didn't like the sound of that. What was that? Oh, that was just the spare, well not the spare, the broken chime rods in the case moving around. Okay, now for the mirror bracking part is moving this over here. Alright. Grab it from there. There we are. Oh yeah, it wasn't as, yeah, now that I'm moving this, it reminded me, no yeah, it's not as heavy as I thought it. Jesus, my sister sneezed so loud. And she sneezed again. Oh, but now this is brushed up against a heater. I don't know if that's safe or not. Hey, Chad, is having a grandmother clock brushed up against a heater safe? Because I just saw that my bedroom's heater is right there, yet I'm trying to move the grandmother clock here. And would that be safe considering this is 100-plus-year-old wood here? I'm not sure, but I think we'll be okay. Famous last words, though, but the one design I don't like about this Mauta is that it's tall and narrow, which isn't very nice. I don't think the new clock is actually going to fit in the space that the Mauta is or was in, because it's narrow, whereas this new one is probably a bit wider. But it does look good there. This is a tough one. Tough choices, tough choices. I'm having second thoughts if the Mauta granddaughter, or not the granddaughter, Jesus, the grandmother clock should go here, but I'm not 100% sure because now that I look at the space where the Mauta was in, I'm starting to think, oh, maybe the new one isn't really going to fit there, considering the new grandmother clock is a little bit, probably a bit wider, whereas the Mauta is narrow. These tough choices. Either that or I could put the new one where the Mauta is currently in right now. Probably the most ideal option. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know. This is a tough one. And considering how bizarre my bedroom layout is, it's tricky to find spots. This is a tough one. Don't get me wrong, I don't actually mind where it is. That does look rather nice, because now I can actually kind of see the full thing. Because when you walk into my bedroom, boom, there it is right there. It's, when you look at it from afar, it's such a weird design because it's tall and narrow. So I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, to be fair, this space where the grandmother clock is, or was in, is quite cluttered. And to be fair, I do need to clear some stuff out of my room to remove clutter, but as of right now, it's very cluttered because I'm reorganizing stuff. This is tough choice, tough decision. There's all the shelves. That was what in the TV? Or do you mean what's on the TV? I'm confused what you mean by that. I don't mind the Mauta being right here. It actually rather looks nice, but the only downside is that it's not really up against my wall because this damn heater that's in my room is right there. And I'm not sure if it's safe to really put 100-plus-year-old wood right up against it. Anyway, how old is the TV? This is from, I believe, there's an exact date. I think it's February 23rd, 1981. I know it's 1981, but I think that the exact date is February 23rd. I'm not 100% sure, but I actually don't mind this grandmother clock being here. Actually, if I rotate my VCR, I can save a little extra space. If I move it here, then I can move that piece. Clock right there. I don't like that. See, the one downside with this Mauta is that because it's tall and narrow, it's a little unstable because I can easily move this thing like with absolute ease. And I don't like that. And I can't really stabilize it because on the back, like on this HAC, it doesn't have those little screw-in stabilizers that go into the wall. So I don't like how easily I can just tilt this thing back and forth. And same goes with the door system because it just pulls on the whole thing because it's this is a tough one because it looks good there, but then it's just causing more risks. This is a tricky one. Reorganizing with long case clocks is tricky. Closer to my lamp. No, that doesn't look good there. I think I'll just move it back. And the new one will go where it is. So I'm pretty sure the new one will be a little more structurally, more balanced. This needs to go, honestly. And I keep that. Makes it feel better. Okay. I forgot actually how light this Moto Grandmother clock is. It's actually a lot lighter than I actually was remembering. Yeah, where it originally was makes it a little more stable, but it's still very wobbly. Let's see, what am I missing in the chat? Nothing. I think I know where I'm going to put the shelves now. Yeah, I know where I'm going to put these shelves. It'll look good there. I can actually, I can keep the, no, I'm going to need to remove those. This is kind of fun because it's giving, oh, this one? This is a 1883 Waterbury kitchen clock, which can also be a wall clock because it has the wall hook at the back. Which actually you don't see too often on those kitchen clocks, but they did come with that option of being a wall clock as well. Yeah, that's the Waterbury, the 1883. That damn moth tricked me. I thought it was like a... that shelf is going. Gonna hop off. Alright. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Now that's detached. I'm going to detach some of these records I have pinned on my wall here. I gotta be gentle with one of them since it's like the only one in existence. This one I can remove. Now for, I guess, yeah, this one. Gently, of course. There we go. Now that record will go there. Now for the one that's like the only one in existence. Carefully, of course. In case you're wondering what the record I'm referring to, this is a 1964 78 RPM pressing, and on a very tiny label from India. And this one, fortunately, is broken, but even though it's broken, it's still probably rarer than most Beatles 78s, because I've never seen another one. Okay, so now to reattach these shelves over here. Welcome back. This one will go first. I need to move this plug down here. I'm going to move my chair because I need to get a good angle to screw these shelves back in. This one, I think. Yeah. Now to start the process of putting these shelves back. Let's start here. Yeah. Okay, marking the walls, but I know where I'm going. Perfect. Now I can actually put the shelf up. Carefully, of course. Alright, that's screw number one. Now for screw number two, just to stabilize it. Let's make sure that. Okay, mark. Now for the hole. to add the next screws just to ensure that it stays stabilized. Alright, that is almost shelf number 1. So now I have to add the supporting bracket at the bottom. That way, if it does start to sag down, that bracket will help it keep it stabilized. aka I call it the stabilizer. And the first one went here, if I'm correct. Pinpoint, there we are. Actually, I could just... Uh-oh, where'd it go? Right there. Up there. No, don't you do that there. Now for the second one. There. A nice solid shell. Okay. I can finally put the first clock up on that shelf, which is a 1958 to 59 Mauta. So we'll do it very nicely. The rest of the clocks up here. There. That actually looks quite nice up there. I think you can see the vision. I think I'm going to do kind of a Art Deco approach to it with the second one and put it over here so it kind of breaks up the pattern. And that would go for the Forestville Girod. Given how tall it is, I think it would have to go right here. Not sure, but we'll figure it out. New reorganizing stuff is tiring, but I do find it fun. Actually, given how tall the Girod is, where would this go? Virtually exactly where what I was measuring. I have to remove these tiles for decorative tiles. The first one there. Second one off. Gosh there, Mickey. There's a lot of holes in the walls. The amount of organizing I've done over the years. There's so much to do. Don't stitch those, we need to remove the tiles. My precious. Alright, now I can finally put the second screw back. Not second screw, the second shelf. Actually, right here, where this existing hole is, would look good. might work. But let's see. No, don't fall. Oh, they're magnetized. That does not help. In this case. Good. Hold on. Chat is dead. Well, I mean, to be fair, there's not really much to talk about because I'm busy while at the same time live streaming, so I can't really look at chat 24/7. But if you have questions, feel free to ask and I can answer them whenever I have the time to. So, I mean, by all means, y'all can have a full-fledged conversation while I'm doing this. I mean, go for it. Solid, but now for the supporting bracket. Oh yeah, for sure. It definitely does. It pretty much at the end of its 8-day cycle. So once I get the brain fart. I think once I get the 3rd shelf in, I will give it a wind. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Okay. Now for the next one for the supporting bracket. Perfect. Oh, that one's in. Now I can put the forest mill digitoid up here. Or some people call it dime rod. Perfect. Don't think it's running. Well, it certainly looks good up there. French clock with the French clocks. Hammer clocks. Not sure what that means. Also, see you later, Wyatt. Thanks for, or sorry, see you later, Yes, it was chiming slow. It's virtually at the end of its 8-day cycle. Okay, so actually I can start putting the decorative tiles up here. I think this will look nice with the pattern. Put this one here. That goes there. Now this pin goes there. Now I can actually remove the rest of the tiles. Because now for the last shelf. Third tile in. What's going on in chat here? Nothing. Alright. Put this tile up. Why do I hear Santas? When's my sister playing on Roblox? Alright. The last two tiles. Or as Ice Age says it, the last melon. Okay, why am I hearing Santa in the background? It's summer. Summer's here and the time is right. We're dancing in the street. And it's all around. Alright, there we are. That actually looks really nice. Now for the last shelf. I think we'll go. Yeah, it would have to go here. Giving that to this. Fucking that. I'm giving that. The Clash de Jedi Hermely isn't very tall. It would need to go very high. Yeah, that should work. Alright. Let's see. Right about. Yeah, actually, right about there should work just fine. We're dancing in the stream. No. One downside of magnetized screw bits are that instead of it helping, it kind of pulls it out at times. Error. No, Shell, don't fall on Bean. I'm going to use physics for this one. So I put this one on the opposite side. And so if this shelf starts to slump, it wouldn't really, because it would be a little uneven where the screws are mounted, canceling each one out. I don't like that it's uneven, but I'll live with it. The next screw. This one will go here. The last screw, and then the shells are done. And now I can probably start chatting with chat now. Should be okay. Alright, now for the Shasta firmly to go in place. And how small it is. It worked perfectly. Actually, could I put the Winterhalter there? Actually, I probably could, because both are not very large clocks. So actually, I might be able to put two on one shelf. Hang on, chat. I might be cooking with something here. I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I think I'm cooking. Grab the Winterhalter. I might actually be able to put this here. Oh, it's actually right. It's not tall. It's not tall, but it is quite wide. Carefully. It's very lightweight. No, I was not cooking. Oh, but I could be cooking with this one there, but damn. I thought I was cooking there. And carefully put this back. Now I gotta put the Waterbury thought I was cooking there, but regardless, I have created actually something really nice. I'm actually really liking how this turned out. Actually, fit one more tile here, couldn't I? Yep. There. Alright. So this, I actually like how this turned out. So now, the one other issue, where the heck am I putting this thing? The corroded thing. You are going to keep sending messages. Actually, I can put this little guy right there. Till you get alright. Number 1. Well, I wouldn't probably recommend doing that because this still counts as spamming in chat. This still counts as spamming in chat, so I probably might have to ask you to stop. Can you actually please stop? Because this still counts as spamming in chat. There. I think so too. Now I gotta regulate this one. Actually, I do need to wind this one too. Yeah, it's a custom-made barrel. Yeah, I still have the reverse Westminster barrel as well. Actually, that gives me an idea. There it is right there. I will put the reverse Westminster barrel right there. Yeah, because it's more ideal. Because it makes more sense than a reverse chime. I do have the chimes off on this one. It's on my to-do list, but I haven't worked on it since the last stream I did. But it is on my to-do list. There. Now to regulate this thing. So I'll have to put you guys right back down again. I'll be right back. Y'all behave now. Wrong way. That might do it. Well, that made it worse. This is fine. So actually needs to go this way, I think. That might do it this time. Nope. Wrong direction. Yep, that worked. Almost. There we are. Now it's regulated. Where's the test center? Right there. So there's the shelves here. It's right underneath it. There's a record above it. That was just to protect it from wall dust. But it's right. It's right here. It's running very fast. It's actually been my least. It's been my worst timekeeper. It probably is one of the worst timekeepers in my collection. I've, no matter how many times I try to regulate it, it's very sensitive. Do I want to hear something funny? Coffee table. You want to hear something funny? Coffee table. What? But yeah, sure, I would like to. I know, it's just very sensitive to being regulated. I've tried it so many times, no matter how many times I regulate it, it's just tricky. It's very sensitive to being regulated. I do need to adjust this hand out a little bit. Yes, I know. When I started, it was literally when the stream started. His stream started. We both quite literally started at the exact same time. To take it to Antarctica. Now, one trick I do sometimes, because this one's a little sensitive, is I just, and I don't recommend this, but just skip it right ahead, even if it's chiming, because then once it completes its chime cycle, the rack will drop. One, two, three. I didn't do this time, but not set to 3. Now it's being sensitive. Oh yeah, because it didn't get to finish its cycle. There. There. That one's running. Now every single one besides that one is running. And I think this one's running a little slow. Actually, I think it actually just stopped running. So now it needs its winding. But now I don't know where to put its key. I think this is it. Or at least one of them. That fits. Right? No. Of course, it's not that easy. I think it's this one. The bean, yes, there it is. Also, welcome back, Wyatt. Now it's running. Its name is just Bean. That's all it is. Just named Bean. And what the heck, I'll turn on the chimes on these as well. Actually, no. Because it's shaped like a bean. That's why. Because it's kind of curved like a bean. And it's the color of like a bean. So I call it Bean. I don't know. It's not original to the clock. It came with this pendulum. Yeah, it's not original. You can also very much see, where's the light? There it is. That somebody in the past snipped off the rest of the pendulum so that it can just have the two on it. So it just came with this pendulum, but honestly, it just works because it's gold on gold, and it's also got trims of silver on the pendulum, which matches perfectly with the numbers. So it actually works perfectly. In my opinion, if somebody didn't tell me that it was not the original pendulum, I don't know. It probably would, but I don't think so because these clocks came with round silvered pendulums. Well, obviously if it had a silver dial with black numerals, it would have a silver round pendulum. It would probably look something like that, but just, you know, like instead of it being foggy, it would be like a mirror, kind of like the FFR, just solid color. Yes, the dial is original, because if we look here, you can see where it's been pinned into place, and that's clearly never been messed with since factory, which is just how HAC did. They always pinned their dial plates onto a piece of metal, and that's just how they did it. It's the same with the FFR. It's just, the dial is just pinned onto a piece of sheet metal, and it's the same with a baguette. It's pinned onto a piece of sheet metal. And that's just how they did it. And now I gotta figure out what to do with this Christmas lights. Which I think I actually have an idea. 30. I hate to be that person, but it's actually 1938. And yes, it is Young'uns, because Young'uns bought out HAC. I'm not sure when, but I think it was the late 20s. And then they just kept the producing movements. They actually kept the name HAC. They also bought out Gustav Becker as well, and they kept the name going. And actually, in the catalogs featuring this clock, there is the branding of Young'uns, HAC, and Gustav Becker. All the same model. So if you go to Gustav Becker catalogs, go to 1938, you will come across the exact same page featuring it. And if you go to the HAC catalogs, it will show that same picture, but just with the branding HAC on it. And then if you, of course, go to Young'uns, it'll show the same page under the Young'uns branding. So they just kept the names going, because I think they were just very popular names. And so they just kept it going. Not sure why they kept the brands going. Again, I think it's just because it was a popular branding that everyone knew and everyone still knows. But yeah, they just kept them going. These Christmas lights. Move the lights. Actually, I think I'm going to move them here. And we'll run along the side here. That would look nice. Either that or I move it right up against baguette like this. But I don't think that would look very good. Actually, it might. Let's see. This like this. And then put the into the wall like this. I should keep the light straight up. There we are. Put this one here. And this one, let's see, right there. I'm going to make a short turn. Alright, let's see what chat's up to. Yes, hold on. Actually, the actual original Gustav Becker had the winding holes closer. Yes, I know. And then Jungens bought them out, and then they kept using the same. Jungens movement, just rebadged under different names. And, yeah. Yes, Justin? What is up, Justin? I saw Gustav Becker Trinity Chime on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, oh, that's actually neat. Yes, I do know that you got back from your camping trip, yeah? Let me guess, something terrible happened? Well, I'm heading back. Yeah, you were saying you were going up to Indiana earlier. Move lights are up. Let's see how this looks. Oh, for God's sake, come here. Now, don't run away. You will not run away from me. Oh yeah, that looks nice. No, I did. I'm pretty sure earlier in stream I said something about it. Yeah, that looks nice. That actually looks a lot nicer. Now for the new space. Wait. Just now I need to still find a... No, baguette is not fixed. But it, eventually will be. Hopefully. Alright, I think now is a good time to end the stream here, as I've got a little bored as well, but thank you all so much for joining in and staying, and thanks to anybody who kept staying in for the stream. Hope you all have a nice rest of your day.